Yes, good evening students. Today I am back with some more programs using for loop. The first program which I will be discussing with you is table of a number. Now what is done in this program? You will input a number and print its table till 10. I will show you the output also. Now in void main I have taken a number n in 10, declared variables int I and p. The loop runs till 10 times. Why 10 times? Normally a table is till 10 times. If it is given 12, we change this 10 to 12 or 20 as the question demands. Then in the loop, p equals to n into I is giving you the product. Giving you the product means first time, suppose n is 5, then you will get 5 into 1, 5. Next time 5 into 2, 10. 5 3 is 15 like this. And here I am printing it in a table format. Now once I am executing it for you all, you can see here I am creating an object. My object, I'm giving a number, say 5. See the output, 5 into 1, 5, 5 to the 10, 5 3 the 15 till 50. Because my loop was running till 10 times. If I will change it to 12 times, it will go till 12 times. Once again, my question is table of a number. I have taken number in 10, started loop till 10, multiplied the number with the loop variable that is I, and then print it. Now, if we have done with this, we can proceed with another program. Next problem which I will be discussing with you is factors of a number. You know what is factors of a number? Factors means if you give 10, the factors will be 1, 2, 5 and 10 in the number which is dividing it. Here also I have taken a number in 10. You can see here I have used here public static void main. Right? We can use void main or even public static void main. What is the difference you will come to know while executing. In this we will not create an object. My loop starts till n. My loop starts from 1, goes till n with the increment of 1. Any number if divisible by I is the factor. Is the factor. Main logic is this. If n mod I equals to 0, system dot out dot println I. Suppose if you are giving 10, the numbers which are divisible are first time 1, then 2, then 3. I value will be 3, but 10 is not divisible by 3. Therefore, 3 will not be printed. Again, 4 will not be printed. Again, I will be 5, 5 will be printed. It will continue. Once I am executing this for you, see from here, since it is public static void main, no need to create an object. Just click on void main. Suppose I am giving 10. You can see 1, 2, 5, 10. These are the factors of 10. Once again, see the code. A loop till n, and in the body of the loop one if whether n is divisible by I or not. If n mod I, this checks whether the number is divisible by I or not. If it is divisible, it is a factor of a number. So we have done two programs, table and factors. Now my next problem will be sum of the series. This is the problem. Suppose 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus n. Now here again I am adding public static so that I don't have to create an object. Public static void main. Now here you see the difference that where I am printing. Till now all the programs in for loop we are printing inside the loop. Why? Because we needed our output often, every time, or more than once, twice, thrice, depending upon a condition. Here we need output only once. And if you give 5, it will be give me 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So started a loop from 1 till n. Here, this is the new line which you should understand. S equals to S plus I. This is known as accumulator. It is adding. All the values of I are being added in S. Initially S is 0. I will be 1. Then S will be 0 plus 1. 1. Next time I will be 2. Then you will get 1 plus 2, 3. I will become 1 plus 2, 3. After that 3 plus 3 6, 6 plus 4 10. It will continue with all the values of I will be added, and when the loop ends, when I is greater than n, loop will end and the final the sum will be printed. This also I am executing. You see the output. Suppose I am giving 5. See, total of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 is 15. Whenever you need to do a sum, you have to use s equals to s plus or any variable that will accumulate. So we can proceed to the last program for today's video. Again, I will come with some more. Right. The last program for today's video will be input a number and check with it whether it is a prime number or not. Now, I have not used any flag. Normally, in many programs, you can see loop starts from 2 less than equal to n by 2. But due to simplicity of the program and for the level class 9 and 10, what I have done, till factors I have explained you in the last video. Right. So what I have done, I have taken a number. You can see that I have taken c equals to 0. Till here, we have done in the last video. If n mod I equals to 0 means we are getting the factors. Whenever I am getting a factor, I am counting. In the last program, for adding, we used s equals to s plus I. Here, this means c plus plus means c equals to c plus 1. We are increasing c by 1. So if you give a number, suppose 10. So 10, how many factors you are having? 1, 2, 5, 10. You will get 4. After the loop, when the loop ends, you will check if number of factors is 2 or not. Because a prime number has only 2 factors. 10 is not a prime number, so not prime will be printed. Suppose you give a number 5, you will get only 2 factors, 1 and 5. Therefore, C will become 2. Then, if C is 2, prime will be printed. Once I am executing, and again, I will be explaining you. You can see this. I am giving 10. See, the answer is not prime. Once again, execution. Now I am giving suppose 13. See, it is coming prime. What are the changes I have done? Just nothing. I have counted. Instead of printing the factors, I have counted, and after the loop, I have checked whether C is 2 or not. Why? Because a prime number has 2 factors, only one and itself. So today we have done 4 programs. You go through these videos, like it and subscribe it, and in comment section you can send more programs which I need to solve with you. Thank you. Tata. Bye bye.